Hi, it's David Toback. I just was interviewed by Keith Andrew on the Keith Andrew Network. I had a great time. He's got a great message, a great show, and we just did episode 614. He's done 614 episodes. You need to go check him out. You need to follow him on all the social medias, follow the show, and support him because I do, and you should too.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. Today we have a very special episode, as today is episode 614. That's right, 614. I'm here with David Toback. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Sure, great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No, the honor's all mine. For people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you want to be. It's to prove them you still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. Now, for people who want to know, you are the Chief Operations Manager. You're not the CEO, but you kind of run the company. And also you are a professional actor and voiceover actor. So let's start with the big elephant in the room. How did you become a Chief Operations Manager?
Great. Well, yeah, that's the Chief Operations Manager for the Global Voice Acting Academy, and it's a pretty cool story. In my beginnings of my career, in my journey as a voice actor, I was taking classes. The Global Voice Acting Academy is a online voiceover coaching and training institution. Provides all services from beginning to end, demo production, coaching, training, everything in between. So I was, just taking classes and participating in the community, and kind of struck up a good relationship with the owner, and wound up creating, kind of by accident, creating a rate guide for myself, which turned into becoming the GVA rate guide, which is now the most widely used rate guide in the industry for non-union. So it's kind of a cool, happy accident. I needed rates, and Christina Malicia, who's the owner, helped me with some resources, and I put something together. My previous career was in as an analyst, a financial and marketing analyst. So I kind of used those skills, put together this guide for myself and showed it to her, and the rest is history. We just expanded it and got rates from all around the country, from various, pros and agents and casting directors. And so after that process was finished, she invited me to come work for the company, starting in a financial capacity. And from there, the past 3 years, I've just been kind of moving up and taking over more responsibility and leadership as we've changed and grown as a company.
No, absolutely. And now, that plan that you put together, can you use that for anything? Like, for an example, for my talk show, would it be useful for me getting myself out there more?
It's really, as far as you're talking about the rate guide itself, or the school.
No, both.
Well, the school definitely can help with speaking. We're focused on voiceover education, so our classes and webinars are purely focused on voiceover. We do offer one-on-one coaching with our coaches, which we have a roster of coaches from, a lot of them are LA-based. We have some in New York, but they're the top coaches in the industry. And that individual coaching can help in ways that, obviously for speaking in public, or just working on how you present, how you use your voice in a presentational manner. We also have dialect coaches, so that could help as well. So from that standpoint, sure, that could help. The rate guide is solely for the industry of voiceover, presenting rates for, radio and TV and web usage, and then audiobooks and corporate narrations and podcast intros, or show or YouTube show intros, things like that. So things that really just only apply to the voiceover industry and the rates, involved in the industry.
All right. Now, what interests you? What caught your interest of being and getting into that type of work?
Well, with voiceover, with the school, I what better place to work than in the industry that you're trying to pursue as a dream? Not too many people have the opportunity to work in voiceover aside from pursuing it as a career. So I'm really lucky. I'm really grateful that opportunity presented itself. And I love helping people. I come from a family of nurses and teachers and doctors, and so I think the helping gene runs in our family, and helping people make sense of the voiceover industry and gain traction in it and pursue, chase, and realize their dreams is really rewarding. Voiceover is a very, very, very difficult industry. It's highly competitive. Although we don't compete against each other, we don't feel like we're competitors, we're friends. It is very competitive to win jobs. It's a craft. It takes years to get really good at it and to build a business. And so there's not one guidebook. You don't go to school for voiceover. It's not like on stage where you go into drama or theater and you kind of have a path that you can follow to understanding how you can get to, advancing your career. Voiceover, you just got to try to figure it out. So we have this common bond of trying to help each other and providing, solid resources that are filled with integrity and with, talent in the industry at the forefront is just something that is at home with me. It feels, perfectly in line with me and my brand. And that's, I'm really grateful that I'm able to kind of push our business along to help people to chase their dreams. And so I'm really lucky for that. So that's really what kind of sold me on working for it. Was like, yeah, I'd love to do this, and I need to make money. I was in a career, like I said, I was in a corporate career before, and that ended, and, was doing various other jobs, and, being able to take my talents from the business world and put them into the voiceover world was just a perfect fit. So I'm just really grateful for that.
No, absolutely. Now, going to the other subject I want to talk to you about is
Sure.
how many years have you been an actor, and how many years have you been a voiceover actor?
Both the same. I started in voiceover. I'm making my way to do some on camera now. I actually was just rehearsing a monologue today to start that process. But 5 years, going on 5 years now. So I started my training in late 2014. And kind of started going after things in 2015. So we're coming up close to 5 years just total starting education. And so that's kind of where we are with that. And, forever, that's my plan forever, is to be involved in the acting. Interestingly enough, though, I did take drama in high school. And so I felt I had an attraction to it, and then got steered to the business area. Unfortunately, a lot of, at my time, a lot of it was, oh, that's not where the money is. I was in journalism too. There's no money there. Go to business. And so I realized that I had that passion for performing when I was younger, and I kind of just abandoned it for what I thought was the right thing to do. And so I'm really glad that I've found it again, and I'm able to pursue it and have some modicum of success in it.
All right. Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, who influenced you to become a voiceover actor, and what was some of your favorite cartoons growing up that influenced you?
Okay, cool. So who influenced me? So this is my friend Monica Frager, and she's probably going to watch this. I owe it to her. She was a friend of mine from college that worked in advertising early on in her career, and I always would do funny things with my voice, emulate, do impressions, Cartman, just funny stuff that, a lot of people do. And most people that do those things say like, oh, I could be a voice actor because I can impersonate, and I never thought of that, honestly, and she said, hey, you have a lot of talent. You should do this. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. I'll do that. How do you do that? Like, okay, sure. But it stuck in my head. And the more I looked at it, I was like, yeah, this would be a lot of fun, to be able to get paid to, joke around and, do impersonations, or my ignorance at that time. Impersonations is not voiceover, but that's what kind of planted the seed. And as I became more and more unsettled with corporate life, and just the drone of going to work and coming home not feeling like I was really doing anything for me or adding value to my life, that drive to pursue that became even stronger. And the main catalyst that really pushed me over the edge was I went to Star Wars weekend. I live in Orlando, and so I went to Star Wars weekend at Disney, Hollywood Studios, and I saw James Arnold Taylor, who anyone who's a fan of Star Wars animated series, he's Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars and the reboot that's about to come out. He's also done some stuff in the films and little things there and there. He's played some alternate characters. He's also one of the most prolific voice actors in the industry. You've heard him. He's done all the promos for Fox, for like Family Guy. And just he's one of the best there is. And his one-man show is I forget the name of it. Forgive me, James, but he does like 100. It's like 100 characters or 100 people, and he impersonated all these people just one after another, and it just blew my mind. And I left that, and I was like, I am going to become a voice actor. That's it right now. And that's what started the journey. So my friend Monica really kind of planted the seed and gave me the inspiration, and seeing James Arnold Taylor really pushed me over the edge to just really be excited to pursue that as something, as a career. Now, the cartoons that inspired me, I mean, I'm an 80s kid, so Voltron, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, those were all like my major cartoons that I watched as a kid, and there's plenty more that I watched as we went along. I didn't really get into I watched South Park a little bit. I kind of refer back to some of those things now. I think I watch more cartoons and look into those things more now that I'm in it than I did, after my early childhood years. So, those were always good ones. I was actually talking to my friend last night about that, and he's an artist and he's doing stuff with 80s and like cartoons and things like that. And we were talking about the different cartoons. So great memories there. But yeah, that's really how it all started and how I got inspired. And I'm really thankful. Everything happens for a reason, and my journey's led me here. So it's really great.
No, I agree with you. And you compare cartoons from the 80s and 90s, they were great. Even the 2000s and up to about late 2000, early 2010, it was still decent. But all of a sudden, it's kind of like it looks the same. Like the new She-Ra, horrible. Mm-hmm. The new Teen Titans Go, yeah, it's funny, but I prefer the old one, where it's a little darker and it actually had a story to it. The Batman, where it's called The Batman, I didn't care for it. And I mean, it's to a different generation. It's great, it's wonderful,
Yeah.
But I grew up to the golden age, like you said, He-Man, She-Ra, Thundercats, Power Rangers, even though that wasn't really a cartoon.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, those things were great.
We can't forget Batman, the one in the 90s, the Batman animated cartoon. One of the best cartoons ever, for sure. So yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, I think we obviously remember what the cartoons were like. Animaniacs, things like that. Like we really held on to those, from our childhood or from growing up. And I think we perceive things a little bit different. Now people that are younger, this is their childhood and they're growing up, and so they perceive it as like, oh, I love this, because they don't have that experience of living, coming home and like, oh, I gotta hurry home so I can turn on and watch Batman, So those things, they ingrain like a feeling of nostalgia with us, and I think we lose that as we get older. So, but that's what makes the world go round. Not everyone's going to like the newer stuff, and some people do, and that's okay.
No, I agree, and you bring up a great example. There's no more Saturday morning cartoons. Mm-hmm. I don't know when that disappeared, but I saw a commercial recently. It's like, oh, you can see Heathcliff, and then you can see all your great friends, but it's on an app. It's not like on an application. I'm like, yeah, well, that's great and all, but like you said, I'm 31, and I remember coming home when I was 15, and I'll go back 14, 13, 12, whatever. And that's why 2000, 2001, all right, now it's 2000, 99, 98. You had X-Men, you had Spider-Man, you had some crappy shows in between, but you had your main five: Power Rangers, X-Men, Spider-Man. Let's see. Well, that's three right there. Trying to think whatever ones were good. Animaniacs, and I think like Johnny Quest.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, now that things change, the internet has changed a lot of things. I remember watching ABC Saturday morning cartoons long before with a little dog, and it was there was like claymation, and it was like the little intro. It was like, after these messages, we'll be right back. It was like a dog, and it's like stuck in my head. I'll always remember that, and but times change, and unfortunately, what's really behind all of that is money. It's businesses trying to make money, and they have to make changes. And as much as we hold on to those things as fans and as consumers, when it's not making money, the shift gets changed, or we're shifting to new things. Like now, everything is, like you said, going on apps, or there's going to be Disney streaming, and everything's going to go right to that. And we're always adapting to change and into new things. And unfortunately, that's what brings the nostalgia. Like, man, I remember back when we had just 5 channels, and just this and that. So yeah, I think we're growing and developing things, and the good thing is that these changes also give a lot of opportunities. With a lot of these changes have given a lot of opportunities for people like me in VoiceOver. People are able to do independent productions now, which just never would have happened. I mean, look at game developers. You can just learn how to code and create games, and you can be a game developer all of a sudden. You can be an app builder. These things were really sectioned off. And even technology, if we're talking about technology, as VoiceOver, artists used to be, you had to be in LA, New York, Chicago, and you had to go into a studio. You never did anything at home. You went into your agent. You auditioned, and then you went home. You ate lunch. Like, you didn't do anything. Now we're full-time entrepreneurs. We can record. It's my booth right here. I can record a broadcast quality audition, broadcast quality project right out of my house. The world has changed in so many ways, and it helps us. And sometimes we don't like those effects, but they do help us as well. So unfortunately, some of those things have gone by the wayside, but we'll always have them in our memory, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. In a way, technology is good if you don't abuse it. Look at it like this. Now we have medicine to help somebody if they're having a heart attack or stroke. Back in the early 90s and 80s, you're pretty much screwed. If you were having a heart attack and stroke, it's like, well, live long and prosper, and let God be with you. But now it's kind of like, but now it's different, and in a way that's good. But at the same time, I'm a cashier, and when I ring up people, I see kids with smartphones and tablets, and I'm like, tell them to go to hell outside, or give them a Game Boy or something. I mean, we didn't have that when we were kids, but people are spoiled, and there's a lot of videos on YouTube again, and there's a lot of stupid videos on YouTube where, I don't know, I saw this one yesterday where kid had a hidden hangout where, he goes and hides, and his father finds him, and he gets the Xbox and he smashes it on the floor. Or kids have temper tantrums, meanwhile they have freaking arcade machines in the back room. It's just the stupidest thing you can think of.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes we rely a little bit too much on it, and it's an easy scapegoat to distract attention, especially the children. I don't have children, so I'm not going to pretend like I know what parenting is like, but I know that, I have many friends that do have kids, and I would like to think when I have a child, I would not be giving them a device to occupy their time as much. Like, I think that it's an inevitability but there's ways to manage it. Getting outside, I'm a big believer being outside, getting sunlight, fresh air, exercise, meditation, those things to kind of keep your mind right. Because I've noticed I've gotten had addiction, like where I'm like, man, I'm on my phone way too much, and there's the apps. A lot of that stuff is designed for that. It's designed to keep you on it, so that you can be experience what they want you to experience. Facebook does what they do so that you can see the ads and drive their revenue. So those things are designed for that, and it's up to us to really manage how we use our technology, to stay sane. There's a big dopamine release that we get from scrolling and seeing. We post a video, like I'm sure you post, one episodes of your show, and you're like, ooh, I wonder if am I going to get likes or people commenting? And when you see that, it gives you like, oh, cool, and that's a dopamine release, and we get addicted to that, and that's what kids, they're actually showing addiction in young kids, that if they're given these, technology too soon, they're not able to really process it, and they really do become addicted to that that need of pleasure from getting responses or engagement on social media and stuff like that. So yeah, whereas it is great, it's done a lot for us, it can have some downfalls as well. So
I agree with you. Now we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about social media and how do you become famous on it.
Great, sounds good.
Hi, I'm Marissa Joy Davis.
This is Michelle Wong.
And I'm Nancy Rose.
My name is Brandy Hunt. And
hello, my name is Raven Wynn.
Hi there, my name is Giovanna Vidal.
Hi, I'm Monica Thomas.
Hi, I'm Paisley Blackburn.
I'm Ashley Burgess.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Abney.
Hi, I'm Sharon Spank.
Hey, this is Samantha Moore.
Hi, I'm Melody Jones.
Hi, my name is Becky Yee.
Hi, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 614. I'm here with David Toback. I just want to say thank you for sticking with us. Now, when we took the commercial break, I told you we're going to talk about social media and how you become famous on it. And one thing I did notice on my account today, and I'm annoyed about it, I'm not really sure if it's true or there's a lot of people spamming. On one of my episodes, a lot of people are making these comments about this guest. So I'm just going to say, don't leave negative crap on something that's supposed to be good. Regardless if you don't like the person whatsoever. That's fine, but, just putting it out there. Anyway, what I was going to ask you is social media, what it really antagonizes me is, what is Ryan's World? I don't know if you're a fan of it or you ever heard of it. I know there's something called Ryan's World and JoJo. JoJo's like, she's pretty much like, I would say, almost said Jessica Spears, more like Britney Spears, just think of this kid who has Nickelodeon pushing them. Remember there was the Amanda Bynes show. There was this, I can't think of the name. Hilary Duff had it. Hannah Montana, whatever.
Yeah, Hannah Montana, okay.
She had her own puss. And so I understand why, this kid's getting a puss because they have a big corporation behind them. But what really antagonized me is this 6-year-old or maybe 5-year-old kid named Ryan's World. And it annoys me because he has sponsors. He has people falling over themselves to meet them. And of course, the parents are raking in the money, of course. But he only does is review toys, and I'm thinking...
yes. Okay, I know you're talking. I didn't know the name at first, but now that you say the toys, yeah.
And what antagonizes me is, like, what am I doing wrong? It's like, no one really cares about disabilities. I'm trying to turn myself into an example. But this kid, like, picks his nose and flicks it, and yet he gets a couple hundred views. Yeah,
I mean, unfortunately, the way that social media is instant gratification.
Yeah.
And, I've learned that we can't chase what other people are doing because your audience aren't the people that are enjoying people picking their nose and flinging it on the wall or reviewing kids' toys, right? So, I get that. I used to be like a YouTube hater, like, oh, YouTube, like, what do they do? And I've had a big change in my life where I've embraced spirituality and meditation, and I think it's helped me to be more present and be more involved in what's good for me and not concerned about what's elsewhere. And so social media can be filled with vitriol. It can be filled with just a lot of jealousy because you want those numbers. And like you said, how does he have 15 million subscribers and he puts up he's reviewing some toy and the kids just want to watch it, and well, okay, he found his niche and something happened and he's successful. Hey, good for you. That's not me. What I want to do is encourage people that are interested in my message. And so I think we really need to be focused on what our goal is and what our message is, and filter out the distractions, because in the end, it's not really going to be something that is productive to helping you. Like, you haven't done anything wrong. It just hasn't happened. We'll say this in VoiceOver. There's people could be like, man, you are so good. Your demos are great. You're such a great voice actor. How are you not booking all the time? Like, I'm just not the right fit for what I'm doing, or I just didn't do it. We don't know. It doesn't, just because we're not booking a job or because we're not having the following we want, doesn't mean that what we're putting out there doesn't have value to the people that are watching it. And all it takes is, I think it's just consistency. Whoa, consistency. And, doing it for the right reasons, which is what you're doing. You're doing it to spread a great message and to help inspire people with disabilities and learning disabilities, that your message, that they can be whatever and whoever they want. That's really all that matters, and if you put love and energy into doing that and putting that message out, you're going to see the return on it, and whatever time that is, and when that time is the way it was meant to be. There was no other way, because you're on that journey and worrying about what those other people are doing. And I get it, because I do the same thing. I'm like, man, how come I can't get over 950 followers on Instagram? And then I'm like, oh, it doesn't really matter though. Like, the people that are engaging with me are the ones that really matter. And so I think that's really important to know. And it can be a place, if you're trying to build something, where you can let that creep in. I know I do a tiny bit of YouTube, nothing consistent. I just don't have the time, but I love producing videos. I use Premiere Pro. I produce videos, vlog type stuff. I do a lot of that on Instagram, actually, so it's a little bit easier to kind of manage and put out. But through like IGTV and through Story. But I really think you can get wrapped up in it, and it's not always going to be an easy road. But like I said, you gotta you have your message and your goal, and that's really all that matters. And most of I found, I watch a lot of content creators on YouTube, photography and videography and things like that. One of the biggest things is they never did it to gain an audience. Like, one of my favorites is Peter McKinnon, and he's over, I don't know, he's probably 4 million subscribers. And he was like a magician and did other things. He's just like, I'm going to do a YouTube channel. And he just did what he did. And it just, he did the right things, and all of a sudden people loved it. And, he did some collaborations, and boom, and he had a great message. But he never did it with the intent of, oh, I need to get this many followers, or I need to do that. And I think when you do things from the heart and from, a place of love and a place of, authenticity, is where you start to see it. And, so I wouldn't be too concerned about those things. You're doing a great job with what you're doing and the message you're having, and I want to see you put your energy and love into what you're doing to get it out there. So yeah.
No, I agree with you, and not saying this to kiss your butt or anything. This is what I want to do until I die. I'm very passionate about this, and I found something that I love doing. I've been doing this for 6.5 years. And we're up to 6.5 years. I'm going to be 7 next year. We're up near 614 episodes.
Yeah, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. So, knock on wood. Like I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And hopefully things work out.
Though they will. And, I mean, they already are. You just keep, connecting with those people. And, we can explore some ideas maybe sometime of how you can kind of get in front of other people. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunity, I think, and it's just a matter of trying to maximize it and take advantage of those opportunities. But man, 600 and I haven't done 600 of anything. Maybe I've done 600 auditions, but producing shows and doing that and getting guests on. That's a major accomplishment. So you should definitely take pride in that. That's really great. Congratulations.
No, I appreciate it. Now I'm going to pass it over to you for the last 4 minutes of counting. But I sort of laughed at during when you were talking about the 80s and everything. Do you remember the most, it was meant for kids, but it was the most stupidest but kind of disturbing thing at the same time? It was Nick Jr. with Face, where it's a giant face, it's a screen with eyes. Just look up Nick Jr. Face.
Okay, I'll look it up. I'm a little bit. I was born in '80, so I'm a little bit. Maybe it may have been in my teen years, and I wasn't watching that. Maybe, but yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Because it's really funny if you get high and look at it like, dude, the TV's talking to me. It's really looked like a stoner came up with it. It's really funny.
Wouldn't doubt it. Not too far off.
But
maybe.
Passing the show over to you, was there anything you want to know? Anything you want to promote? This is your time.
Cool, thanks. Well, I know you did say something about asking about how to get famous on social media, and I think that kind of tied into what we were just talking about. And it's again, I think it's consistency and doing it for the right reasons, doing it for what you're doing. Like I said, I think becoming famous shouldn't be the goal, because you're putting pressure and you're putting an expectation. So I think we just, like for myself, and my goal is just to put out my content, whatever that may be, show my authentic self, connect with potential clients, and friends and people that I'm hopefully can inspire. I'm moving more into some. I just like to spread a positive message. So if that can help anybody, that's my thing. And if I blow up for some reason at some point, then great. But if not, I'm cool at 947 followers on Instagram or whatever it is, So that's I think the key is to not try to do it to become famous, but to do it for the right reasons and authentic reasons. So, but moving on to just I'd love to just talk about the Global Voice Acting Academy just for a quick minute. Obviously, that's I do run that, as we talked about earlier. And for those that are watching that may be interested in VoiceOver, again, we provide VoiceOver educational services for the entire industry. We're an online school, so we have people from all over the world. We have top coaches in the industry that offer private coaching, as well as we do some structured classes and workshops and webinars surrounding certain genres, commercial, promo, animation, things like that. We've been doing a lot of workshops with Disney casting directors. We've built a nice relationship. So we've had some with the executive director of Disney casting, and we have one coming up with another member of the casting team at Disney. We have someone that was the previous executive director of Disney casting on our staff, Sarah Sherman. So we have a lot to offer to the community. Obviously, we have rates, we produce demos, we do everything. And so we're really a mainstay in the community and providing support and education. So we're also going to be at VO North, which is in Toronto this year, or it's always in Toronto. We're going for the first time this year, but that's September 20th. So if you're north of the border and you're interested in VoiceOver, and actually you don't have to be north of the border, but anywhere, if you'd like to come join us in Toronto, we'll be there. And we go to other conferences throughout the year. VoiceOver Atlanta is also a good one, held in Atlanta each year. So there's a lot of opportunity there. We like meeting people and talking about the business and helping people. And then I will talk about myself real quick too. Voice actor, going on 5 years. I do it all pretty much. I have a lot of tools in the tool belt. You can catch me at davidtoback.com. That's DAVID, T as in Tom, OB as in boy, ACK.com. That's my website. All my socials are that too: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the name. And if you're interested in, I should probably give you the GVAA website. That's globalvoiceacademy.com. Globalvoiceacademy.com. You can search in Google for that too, and it should pop up. We have pretty good SEO, thankfully. So, but yeah, here to help, and follow me if you have any questions about VoiceOver. You can reach out individually. I'd be glad to talk to you and answer any questions you have. And that's all I have for today. Thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
No, I'm looking forward to part 2, and hopefully, maybe if you're interested, we can work together one day.
Absolutely. I'm always interested in developing relationships and seeing what we can do. So sure.
Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but my first question for you is, how can people follow you on social media? Are you I know you mentioned it, but LinkedIn,
sure.
Twitter, stage for
everything.
YouTube?
Yep, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all my name, David Toback. I'll spell it again, David, T as in Tom, O, B as in boy, A-C-K. So luckily it's not a common name, so I was able to grab all the easy handles. So yeah, that's how you can follow me there and come join the party. I post some videos. I like to dance. I like to have fun. I like to laugh at myself. And I like to give some inspirational messages here and there. So yeah, come join the party and let's hang out.
No, absolutely. My last question for you, wrapping up our show, is when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? What made you say yes? And after being a guest, how do you feel now, and would you recommend it to other people?
Sure. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool. Let me check it out. And so then I, obviously I do get some things here and there, a lot of times we get stuff on Instagram, things that are just totally fake and, scams and things like that. So I was like, well, let me just check the website out. Obviously looked completely legit, and I checked it out. I was like, oh, cool. This would be really awesome. So yeah, why I said yes is because I think you have a great message. I'm really proud of, that you're stepping out and stepping into your vulnerability. That's not something I talked about, something I really believe in a lot, stepping into your vulnerability. And I think you're doing that. Obviously, you're putting yourself out there as a person with a learning disability that is trying to help other people. And I think we need more of that. And it's a shining example for others to, to live their life to the fullest, no matter, what their circumstance is, and so I was, jumped at the chance. I think what you're doing is great. And, yeah, I appreciate you inviting me. So, and now how do I feel? I feel great. I had a great time, got a new friend, and, I think, we covered some fun topics. I was able to talk about myself and the GVAA and VoiceOver, things I talk about all the time and love talking about. So, it's been a lot of fun. I feel great, and I'll look forward to, round 2 when we can manage it.
No, absolutely. Now, wrapping up, stay tuned for Off the Air. I do have some questions for you. But wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
All right, thank you. Yes, same here. It's an honor, and I appreciate you having me on. And good luck with the next 614.